So your introduction into music as a business person starts in promotions, right? Or DJing, the DJing.
DJing and throwing parties. Yeah.
And that started in college.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school at?
Sonoma State. I was in Santa Rosa. So I was going to San Francisco and Oakland, Berkeley, Leopold's in Berkeley, Bobby G's, Soul and Disco. These are some old record stores where we'd buy our records, you know, Rasputin's. So we would go to Oakland, Berkeley, San Francisco, buy records. It's about 45 minutes away. And we'd go back up to Santa Rosa area where we were throwing our dances and our parties and DJing at little bars and clubs and stuff, you know. And sometimes we DJ down in like the Bay Area, you know.
So when did you start your company, the promotions company?
Well, what happened when I moved back to LA around '87, I got an internship working at Arista, which led to a job at Delicious Vinyl. And that was my first like job in the industry. And I was doing promotion for Tone Loc and Young MC and all this stuff. And then my buddy Matt Robinson, who I'd been DJing these clubs for, like Peace Posse and these big clubs, he got a record deal through Island. And he brought me on as like VP of A&R and to run his label. But it was kind of short-lived. And the label went away and then I didn't have a job. And then my buddy Curtis Harmon, who was a mix master on K-Day, came to me and said, hey, you want to do the street promotion gig with me? I got this gig. And street promotion was brand new. There was almost nobody do it. In LA at that time, I would say the LA street promoters were Scotty Spencer, Scotty D, and Doug Young were the only people doing it before me in LA. I mean, Steve Rifkin was starting his company at this time and was doing it nationally as well. But he hired me and other people more or less to do, you know, but you know, very early on in the process, all of us were. So, you know, Curtis Harmon came to me and we did street promotion. That's when I started PMP. So, you know, that I went on to do, I was hired on retainer by Tommy Boy. So we worked Naughty by Nature's first album, De La Soul's first album, you know, OPP, you know, Queen Latifah, her first project, Gangster Bitch, Apache, all kind of cool records from Tommy Boy. And then we worked some cool stuff like Leaders of the New School, Brand Nubian. We worked Cypress Hill for Columbia, hired us. We worked, you know, we did street promotion on a lot of different projects, and that led to me becoming a manager. I was briefly House of Pain's first manager. I got them their record deal. Then shortly after that, I discovered The Far Side, which was a better thing for me that lasted. I worked with them through their whole first album. After that, I met Coolio, Warren G, and that was what really led me into, you know, my whole big management record label run.
Okay, you just went through like years of relationships right there. Let's start with I want to know more about Delicious Vinyl. I remember they had an office on Hollywood Boulevard, if I remember correctly.
Right, but before that, they had an office on Melrose and Gardner across the street from Johnny Rocket's famous hamburger stand. And that's where they started. And that's where I worked for them. And after that, they actually had a house across the street from there, was kind of famous. My roommate was Skate Master Tate, this local guy, and Muggs from Cypress Hill slept on our couch. And the Booyah Tribes were regulars over there. And that's when PMP started. And that house was like street promotion central. And everybody would come and get their records there. And it was a big party house. Tate was a distributor of herbal supplements, and there was a lot of smoking going on, and you know, it was right on Melrose, and as you know, Alex, and people that don't know, Melrose was really popping that time. People would walk up and down Melrose, there were all these shops, and so we were a spot on Melrose. People would just turn the, you know, go right off Melrose. We were the first house off of Melrose and Gardner, and people would come and stop and get records from us, and maybe smoke one and hang out or whatever, you know.
They had a great collection of mostly West Coast artists. You mentioned Tone Loc, Young MC. They also had Def Jeff, I remember. And they also had D Barnes, who ended up hosting
Body and Soul. Body and Soul was the name of the group. Yeah, that's when I worked there. I was heavily involved in working both Tone Loc, Young MC, Def Jeff, and Body and Soul. I went on trips with Def Jeff and Body and Soul, promo trips with them. I know D and her partner Rose very well. I'm in Def Jeff's first video, dropping rhymes on drums. I have like 50 African medallions around my neck and like 25 in each arm. I'm at the African marketplace and I'm like trying to rush Def Jeff to buy an African medallion from me, and he like disses me right before he goes to talk to Queen Latifah in the video.
And so you developed relationships with just about everyone that was on Delicious Vinyl.
At that time, the LA hip hop scene was so small, everybody was friends. You know, I mean, when my first trip to New York was to take Young MC around for the New Music Seminar. So, you know, me and Young MC got very tight. I mean, Tone Loc, you know, I was super cool with, I mean, you know, he was a crazy dude. I remember going to his house, there's like 50 Hoover Crips hanging around. It's like, you know, blunt smoking. It's so funny because Tone Loc was the pop rapper, but, you know, he was in the streets, you know what I mean, for real, for real. Like I said, that was when Hoover were Crips or whatever. That was way back, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but yeah, I was very cool with him, but, you know, I wasn't like close with him per se or whatever. Me and Young MC were really close. Me and Def Jeff really close. Me and D Barnes and Rose really close. I was close with all those artists because, you know, there's like 5 employees at Delicious Vinyl at the time, you know? And he worked on Delicious Vinyl also produced Mellow Man Ace's album. So we're really close with him, which got us close to his brother, Sen. You know, and Muggs was part of this group 783 at the time, which was signed to Geffen, but it was all like kind of family, you know what I mean?
Freddie B, right?
Freddie B. Yeah.
One of my old homeboys.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
so I think Delicious Vinyl is like a big part of Los Angeles hip hop history, because even though you might not think they were putting out the best music, they had hits. Tone Loc had like 2 major hits. Young MC had like major hits. They look back and listen to them, they were okay, right?
Well, it was pop. It was a kind of a new thing. It was like pop hip hop was so new. I mean, for what they were, I'd say they were great records.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description, and thanks for watching StreetTV.net.